enough without having to look for a job at the same time. Layoffs mean that more and more people are fighting for the few jobs that are available. And when you add graduating college students to the mix, the job market looks even more bleak. But my next guest says professional success is all about your mindset. This is the cover of Candace Spicer's book, which she hopes is going to help people who are in the job market looking for advancement really achieve their goals. Candace is here with me today. Good morning to you. How are you?
How are you?
First of all, what motivated you to write this book? It's called No Box, A Journey to Professional Enlightenment. This is it. What motivated you to write it?
Well, actually, I was inspired to write the book after dealing with some realities of the real world. When I was attending the University of Memphis working on my degree, that's pretty much all I was focused on. I had a part-time job, but for the most part of it, I just focused on excelling academically, and that's what I did. But when I got out of college, I could not find a job, and that was hard to deal with. And on top of that, I was even worried that I wasn't even maybe pursuing the right field. So I learned two things about securing employment and actually being happy in that capacity. One is that you have to be passionate in whatever it is that you're pursuing, and two, you have to be proactive, meaning you have to make sure you have all the credentials necessary to be on the competitive forefront. So I just wanted to share those experiences to possibly help the next set of graduates who are coming out of college.
And there are a lot of people who believe just because you go to school, that in and of itself prepares you for the workforce.
And it absolutely does not. Going to college is a wonderful thing. It's a great advantage, but you actually need so much more. You actually need a lot of hands-on experiences, and that's what I actually talk about in my book. While you're going to school or whatever vocational training that you decide to do, you actually need to make sure that you couple that with hands-on training. That's what people in the workforce are looking for.
People always say, get your internships.
Absolutely. That's a great thing. Internships, even if you want to volunteer your time, and a lot of it sometimes mean that you will have to use your own time, and that's a great thing.
Now, I'm looking at some of the articles here and some of the chapters here. Ready, Aim, Hire. That's the first chapter.
Right. Ready, Aim, Hire. That's pretty much where I talk about graduating college. It actually begins on the day of my college graduation, and I was so eager and bright-eyed to find a job, and I was like, okay, great, I'm going to be this great, successful person. I'm going to be so busy and so popular, and it was the exact opposite. I could not find a job, and it actually was a turning point for me to learn a lot of lessons about career development.
Chapter number 5, Bottom Up.
Bottom Up. Bottom Up deals with actually working your way from the bottom, so to speak, of whatever it is you're interested in, whatever your field is, and working your way up, which is actually not a bad thing. It's a great thing because on each level you're learning so much and you're becoming an asset to whatever company it is that you're working for.
What are some of the biggest challenges that you see people face as they enter the workforce?
Like I said, a lot of people are trained academically, but they lack the hands-on experience. That was my major challenge. So I can't stress that enough, that you have to actually couple both of them.
One of the things you also write about in the book is presenting yourself in a way that makes people want to hire you and that is going to promote you in and of itself, in and of the way you carry yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. Your character, your image, all of that matters. All of it makes a difference. You have to know how to set yourself apart. And, of course, proper grooming is very important, and just anything you can do to set yourself above and beyond. It's in my book, and I definitely encourage that.
How does someone find a way to create a niche for him or herself?
It's all about finding your passion. You actually have to sit back, think about some things, meditate on some things. What makes you happy? What's most enjoyable to you? And then try to find a way to make that your job. And that's, to me, that creates total career happiness and longevity.
It sounds like you believe that passion kind of creates a feeling of happiness that creates success.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
And you did all this, for you, is all through experience. You learned all of this by failing and failing and trying again and trying again.
And absolutely, and I don't discuss things that I just think to be true. Everything in my book is everything that I lived, and I know it to be true because it's worked. I've progressed so much, and I just wanted to share. So
now, for people who say, "Oh, you just graduated from college a few years ago. You don't know anything about the world," how do you respond to that?
Wow. Well, I think I do have a lot to share. Everybody's experiences are important. What you do with those experiences, that's what matters. And this is what I decided to do with it. And this is proof in itself that, okay, I may have just graduated a few years ago, but look what I've done, look what I've accomplished, and you can do the same thing.
And it took you a year to write this book.
A little over a year.
Just laid all of your passions and all of your heart and soul out on this little sheet of paper.
I did, and if I may add, every chapter I began with a quote from my personal journal. So I actually wanted to bring the readers into what I was feeling at each level of my professional development, and I think it also makes for a great story.
Well, we appreciate you sharing it with us. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much.
Good to see you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, here's the cover of the book. It's called No Box, A Journey to Professional Enlightenment. We've linked Candace's own website with ours, which is myeyewitnessnews.com. Just click on the midday link on the left-hand side of our homepage to find it.